Dude, I wanted to do it for like 2 years, man. Like for the longest time,
Dude,
I always wanted to have a thing.
You're doing it so professionally, like it looks so high level that it's such an overkill.
It's super fun though, man. It's super fucking fun. I've got some copy here for you. Feel free to use or throw away, but I thought I'd make my life easier. Because I learned from Chad, you know, like Chad, he makes shows super easy, so I want to make people shit super easy as well. And then I have
the actual links, so I would be able to replace them.
So if you go to that page,
I'll just share the pages themselves, right? Like I won't change the links or anything, right?
Exactly, because you can just share the actual. You don't have to share the page. You can actually once the live shows up, you can just share the live.
So I just posted that text right now.
Very nice. And I will share. I'm gonna share the video as well. Yeah, man, take a photo on Instagram. When I was doing with Mo Ali Agel, that's what he did.
What he did?
He took a photo of us. He took a video of us talking like on his phone, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" Let me share. Oh, that's why. Is this why? Share. There we go. Awesome. Time to do the obligatory share. Hey, I can see a few people joining us already. If you can hear us and you can see us, do me a favor. Just say hey. It's always nice to hear from you guys. And Maor loves the attention anyway. He loves that shit. Yeah, so do I. So say hi in the comments. Make sure we can see you. We'll say hi back, I promise.
Okay, that's
post. Alright. Posted on my personal. And then now time to post on all the other places. How the hell you been anyway, man? I haven't seen you in like fucking forever.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started.
Yeah?
I'm getting like comments on my Diesel shirt. I have a sort of like.
Is that your company?
Is it? Oh, definitely, dude. Like, if they close Diesel, I don't know what I would do. Like, I would basically stay with the clothes that I have, and that's
really
like
is Diesel like your thing?
Diesel is like my obsession for at least 13-14 years. Like,
no shit.
90% of my closet, everything, like from shoes definitely to jeans and shirts. Like, I'm totally obsessed.
Nice. That's crazy. Lloyd, what's going on? Thanks for joining us in Melbourne. Oh my god, what time? Like, you're joining us at 11:40 in Melbourne. That's awesome. Got some Hebrew going on in the comments. Sorry, Anuel, I have no idea how to read that. And then Adam Pickvo is asking what I have to do to be your best friend.
Like, you're joining us at 11:40. I can't. I have to mute the sound. Wait. Oh, yeah, so someone just asked, "What's up, bro?" in Hebrew. That's what it was.
Got it.
Maor, what's up, bro? So. Okay, nice. Dude, what microphone are you actually using?
I've got one of these. It's like a...
So that's like the
like a blue Yeti something.
I bought the Overkill Razor one.
Look at that shit, man. Look at you be all fucking professional and shit.
Yeah, dude, I bought like the top shit, you know?
Nice.
With YouTubers and bloggers, it's like how big your microphone is, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
so
shit.
When would you say people leave your office and you're like all alone there?
Dude, man, when
like
even... No, but I mean, even now it's super fucking quiet. Like, my team's entirely work from home. So they haven't been coming in, which is kind of good because I get to record my videos, especially if I'm doing it in the morning. But then it's been super quiet here. because this is like
How is it
we
not
have
working
we
in
have
such
we
a
have
loud
this
space?
space.
Yeah.
We have this space, but the others are just other rented offices. But they're all empty, dude.
So it's like you're basically like inside a ghost house or something. It's
Yeah, I love it.
probably spooky. Just like, yeah, you love that atmosphere
I
when
fucking
everyone's like, yeah.
leave me the fuck alone. Don't talk to me. Don't let me do my fucking work. Don't ask me for 5 minutes to look at your social media page for advice and fuck. I used to work at another co-working space where it was all like startups. And when you're a marketer and it's all startups, they all want like, hey, can you look at my go-to market plan? I'm like, fuck, man.
So,
I would love to, but
between you and me, that's the difference between you and me. I go around and people just understand that I'm not the guy to talk to. Like, you know, you're so positive and you're such a person to go to, and I just like make sure that everyone knows that I'm like a bitch, basically. So no one. And that's probably half of the reason why I'm friends with Ed, and I just send people to him like on conferences.
That is true.
Like after the first day, you know, you're just like so wasted. Like not even the first day, but like the you're just like saving your energy to the point where you start like going on stage and starting the talk and everything. And after that, it's oh my god, just like after finishing like a big test in school when you just want to get it over with and you're exhausted and like you want people to just leave you alone, but you want to network and stuff, but people are like bombarding you with like tons of questions. I'm like sending people over like,
because you're so smart, bro. That's why people bombard you all these questions.
no. But yeah, when I started it, I think James told me you should go and do that and stuff. So I started it, and I didn't really think it through that I would go like, you know, you're half a celebrity when you go on conferences because people know you from like Facebook and the exposure and stuff, which is like it's probably as big of a celebrity as I would want to get. Like, I mean, you know,
right. Yeah.
It's nice for like 3-4 days and that's it. You know, I was walking around Phuket, and I think it was maybe a year after we saw each other back in, you were in Team Birds, I think.
Yeah.
I think. So I was just walking around, you know, the street or something, and someone told me, the wolf! And I was like, who the fuck knows what the fuck? Like, I was like, you know, and yeah, and people think that you would remember and stuff, like, but people talk to me and sometimes I'm like, yeah, dude, you know how it is, like when someone just approaches you and you don't want to tell him that you don't even remember his name
no, totally.
Like big brother
totally.
Or something, you talk together or something.
It's a weird feeling, right?
It's such a weird feeling, and it's like a weird situation because you can't really get out of it. Like if you tell them that, so yeah, totally. I totally go. It's definitely for some people, and then for some other people, it's just you gotta figure out how to balance it. So, totally get what you mean. Do you miss Singapore, or are we getting ready for?
Kind of. We are. We got 20 seconds left, and then we can start to jam about this stuff. Can't wait. Can't wait to grill this fucker. All right, everyone. You know what? Let's just short circuit it. It's got 5 seconds left. Let's jump on into the intro. What is good, everyone? Thank you for joining us for yet another episode of the Growth and Greatness Show. I got a really dear friend with me today. We first met in Barcelona a few years back. I saw this guy speak and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe the kind of stuff this guy does. So I'm really glad that he's on the show. Since Barcelona, we've caught up a few times and we've managed to shoot the shit and party together and go to conferences together and all that other stuff. He is known as the Wolf. I want to make sure I introduce him properly before I switch over to him. It's got a bit of an intro, and it's also, by the way, I get these guests on the show, right? And you know, like I see other people get guests on their show. I've been at like dinner with this guy and stuff, and he'll just pull up his Google Analytics and be like, huh, good day today, and I look at it, and the numbers are absolutely crazy. So I've got so much respect for this guy. Maor is the guy that we're about to talk to, aka the Wolf. He's been totally obsessed with media buying for the last 12 years. I don't even know how old this guy is. I'm about to ask him later. Relentlessly perfecting each and every campaign he touches. He's proudly known for not letting any campaign go without converting. He now owns Wolf Marketing, as well as, believe it or not, as well as 12 other companies worldwide. He's highly respected as a thought leader in the online media industry as a result of huge numbers as an agency, as an affiliate, as a business owner. So besides owning an agency running campaigns for the largest retail and lead gen companies in Israel, he's also killed it as an affiliate where he dominates search, social, native, email, pretty much you name it. He's there, SMS as well, generating more than 20 million a year in revenue. He also owns two major brands in fitness and in supplements. Gonna grill him about that too. And he also, if I'm not wrong, I'm gonna ask him, the last time I spoke to him, he also owns a chain of gyms. What the hell? So Maor really shares his authentic media buying knowledge. Really genuine guy. You know, he shares his entrepreneurial skills and knowledge there as well to help businesses. And his team pretty much just spend all day cracking and maximizing campaigns on every single platform. Okay, that was a mouthful. I'm going to jump straight to Maor right now. Dude, thanks for joining me, man. Oh, I accidentally muted you. Oh, my God.
So formal and stuff, but it's almost like I'm sitting in your living room or something, and we're just speaking because some people, when you get inside the industry, are so genuine and so funny and get you so much that they become your friends, and you're definitely one of them. Like, I'd lie if I like. It feels almost like you've been with me at school or something. Like that's how I feel when I see you abroad and stuff.
Dude, if we went to high school together, it'd be game over. It'd be horrible.
They wouldn't keep us for a lot of time. Probably.
I don't think we would be in school hanging out for most of the week.
Oh my god. Yeah. We would
you know what?
Some trouble, probably.
Speaking about school and high school, I really want to start there. So first of all, you've done marketing for 12 years. How old are you?
How old do you think I am? Dude, we've known each other. Like, I think when you saw me first, I was 27 or something. So
Holy
I'm
shit.
just about 31, and actually a week ago, a half. So I'm closer to 32 right now.
Welcome to the club, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So in other words, you started this game when you were 20.
So I've been involved with digital stuff for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
But I always knew when to shift. Like if I had to point out one big decision that has kept going with me along the time, and is probably one of the bigger ones that are responsible for me making those large numbers and scaling up my current businesses and stuff, would be just knowing exactly when to shift gears. Like it's almost like I had the exact plan. So back in, I think before high school, I was the guy who, if you would buy like a PlayStation or an Xbox, I was the guy that you would bring it to, so I could just like mod chip it, so you could play like copied games and
Hack
stuff.
games, yeah.
Yeah, hack games. So I was the guy who everyone in high school went to when they wanted like the newest movies, the newest games and stuff. And back then, I don't know if you even ever heard about it. I've never talked about it. There was this FXP scene. So FXP was like you could be either a scanner, a hacker, or a filler. A scanner would be someone who would prep and just scan for vulnerabilities, if I'm saying it right, for the hacker. And the hacker would use exploits or write exploits to hack pubs, and then a filler would just fill those pubs and stuff. So that was the only way to actually share really in a fast way, where you could share console games and movies and stuff like that. So that was when I just like started exploring like the IRC and stuff like that. So
Oh
that's
my
my
god,
original
IRC?
IRC, yeah,
Old
back
school,
back
man.
then,
That's old school right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, definitely. So that's when I met my first partner. We just managed. He owned like an FXP board, which was like really good at the time. He decided to make me an admin with him and manage the whole stuff there. We became friends, and we opened up a subtitle site. So that was like the first big thing that I did back then. It was called subs.co.il, which was a domain that we bought. It was actually a subtitle site before we bought it. So we actually built the whole system. So I'm talking back when there wasn't any like really a really good content management system, way back before you even had like a commercial e-commerce kind of
Yes.
thing. So we opened that up and that exploded. We started monetizing through AdSense and stuff. So for that age, we've made good money, and then we got
What year
sued.
was this?
I don't even remember, dude. Wow, I think 2003, something
Wow.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Early.
It's
Yeah.
like really, yeah. When you used to download subtitles after you downloaded a
Yeah,
movie,
totally. Old
uh,
school. Yeah.
totally old school. And then we got kind of like sued because it was trademark kind of thing. Not trademark, I'm sorry, just copyrights and stuff.
Yes.
Because apparently, if you hear a movie and write the subtitles yourself, then it's still kind of like copyright infringement or something like that. So we decided to close it, and we had this amazing like we got so many requests from people wanting us to build them websites and stuff. So we decided to build and just make our own e-commerce and CMS, which is like a content management system. And we totally exploded. Like imagine me, I'm like selling to like the biggest celebrities and singers at the time in Israel, like major sites, and building their e-com stuff. So that was crazy. Back before I even knew
Wow.
how the AdWords or yeah, that's crazy. I
Yeah.
should probably. Can you hear that? I should probably
Oh, your
mute that.
WhatsApp?
Yeah, it's the web WhatsApp. Let me close it because I'm getting stuff. I forgot it. It's totally non-professional by me. I should know by now.
Trust me, this show is anything but professional.
I can't even find that shit, to be honest. Oh, I found it. Okay. So that's it. From there, basically, that's the funnier part. Like when I go on conferences and stuff, I always tell the same story. I don't even remember if you know. So I'm telling about that point in time where my family had
Yeah,
struggled with the
can
financial
you let's
situation.
share that. Yeah, let's share that story for whoever's watching as well, because I think that's really powerful for people to
So
hear.
let me even get just go a bit,
Yeah.
yeah, and just like give even a bigger background. Just it's so because it's funny when I see it right now. So back then, we got a lot of clients for building websites and stuff, and then my partner back then decided to join the army, which is mandatory in Israel, and basically I stayed without any guy who would code and a lot of stuff. So I decided to stop being like an entrepreneur and stuff and just like join a company. So I ended up being a sales rep for like this really small SEO company. And I'm talking about, dude, the room that you are in, maybe the offices were maybe a quarter of it, maybe, and there were like six guys. It was like so dense, and it was like really like
That's crazy.
like I'm talking about, yeah, it's like payday loan shit. Okay, so
Right.
it's PDL, yeah, my usual joke. So yeah, so anyways, I stayed there for like 2 months. They fired me because I was like nudging everyone. I was like hyperactive, and when I finished working, I used to just nudge everyone and just like being super like
Right, right, right.
no one could stay with me in the office. ended my work there, decided to work for the biggest advertising company in Jerusalem, which sounds amazing, but it's like total shit. They're mainly like the internet back then, digital marketing was so new to them. It was
Mm,
like even weird to suggest it. So I ended up working there, and after 3 months, I got fired too. So
right.
when I'm telling that story, which I'm going to tell right now for the guys who listen to us and don't know it, you need to understand that the point in time is where I really actually believe that no one would hire me. And if someone would hire me, they would probably fire me after 2 or 3 months because I'm super hyperactive. I can't even close my mouth. I don't know how to work in an office environment. I don't know how to handle people. So I have all those limiting beliefs.
Yes.
Um, so that's like the atmosphere in which I live in that exact time. And so, believe it or not, my father was a DJ, one of the first DJs in Israel back in the 80s and stuff. Like back then, when my mother got pregnant, the newspapers wrote about it and stuff. So he was like a local celebrity. My mother didn't really work at the time, and my father was also a military veteran. So he got injured in the army back in his military service, and the injury got worse over time. So he had to go under surgery, which was like extremely dangerous back then.
Mm,
And there was just this point in time where we didn't have any money because my father wasn't making any income. Uh, and basically, I was never taught how money actually works,
right.
how you generate money from money, how it's important to advertise, nothing like it. So that specific day, there was this, I would say, maybe a line drawn in the sand or just a breaking point or something like that, where my mother talked to her sister over the phone and she told her, listen, it's the middle of the month and we don't even have money to buy food, if you could help me. So it, that was like a crazy moment for me because I remember hearing through the crack in the
Between the
door, just like
walls. Yeah.
between the walls, that conversation. And I decided that, my mother wasn't actually going out. She was basically just making food for us, cleaning the house and going to sleep. So I wanted her to have that life. And I remember myself like imaging like how having money would be. So it wasn't from a place where all the gurus are telling you, yeah, the Lambos and the Ferraris and just private jets and stuff like that. It was about living life. So I decided that
Yes.
I'm going to be a millionaire by the time that I get to 30 years old. And also you need to understand Jerusalem, which is like the capital of Israel where I grew up, is the second largest and poorest city in Israel. So thinking about a million shekels, which is like just about like 300 US dollars, is as far as like it was so outside my scope. Like looking at a really cheap new car was something that I didn't even knew how to get to. So setting a benchmark, like a goal at a million shekels, which is 300 USD, was so
300K. Yeah.
far away. Oh,
300K.
300K, yeah.
Yeah. Right.
300,000 shekels, yeah. Yeah, 300,000 USD, yeah. So that's it. So I started looking for work in Tel Aviv, which is like sort of like the second capital in Israel. No, I'm joking. But that's where you want to be. That's where the money, that's where the business
The
is going,
action
and
is.
all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, the action is there, and also a lot of media buying companies and stuff. And back then, like I knew how to push ads and buy media and stuff, but I didn't really. I thought I knew a lot, but I really didn't. And I'm talking about just before I think the Facebook Pixel came out. Like I'm talking about like you could have chosen between CPC, CPM, and OCPM. It was called back then, way before they changed it to like the conversions objective. And they tried to simplify things for smaller business and stuff. So I went to several work interviews. I never got accepted to anyone, and I remember getting to this place that just like a digital media buying agency called Purple. So that place was just like so different, so unconventional. I remember getting inside. I remember the CEO, which is still a friend of mine, and we're still doing things together right now. Um, he was supposed to interview me, and he never woke up this morning, that morning. So I knew that place. People that worked there, some guys who came out of several TV reality shows like The Beauty and the Geek and Big Brother and stuff like that. So I said, okay, that might be a crazy enough place for a germ like me that I
Right,
could
right.
flourish in, maybe, possibly. And yeah, I got accepted, and I worked there for something like 300, like exactly a year. It was on that specific day, a year after that I left. And throughout that year, I just like started booming, dude. I was like, I didn't go out, like I'm talking about zero. It was a complete obsession. I wish I could get into that level of being focused and stuff right now, like even like 25% out of
Wow.
that, like, that would be amazing. So I didn't go out, I didn't do anything besides actually just like study, add people on Skype, register on more forums, get inside more Facebook groups. I think if there were Facebook groups back then, just like I got totally obsessed, dude. I even remember that specific night where I fell asleep with the calculator on my phone still on, just like calculating how much money I would still need to get to that million shekels
Shekels.
goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What did you
that was
do?
that.
What did you get obsessed about during that year? Like,
Oh,
what
dude,
what were you working on?
I was just like my business, and we'll probably get to it, but I was just like exploring, dude, and I just like saw a subject, and I dug deep as I could have gotten through that subject, and then go through another subject and another subject. And it wasn't just like queries where you ask how to make money online or how to set up agencies and stuff. The agency game was so new back then. It wasn't even something that people were asking about. um, and finding a media buyer was something new. Some big
Yeah.
companies used to spend their budgets back then on like campaigns just to generate likes for their pages, which is something that brands do, and that's okay. But I'm talking about super large budgets, like it was like unreal. um, so yeah, it was so funny back then because I was so naive. I would go to like super large companies, like the largest companies in Israel, and I would just phone them or just knock on the door and say, hey, I want to run your ads. And they would, you don't know how weird that, like if someone told me that he's going to do it right now, I would tell him, dude, you're nuts. Like they were already clients with the biggest advertising companies in Israel. Like I'm talking about companies that own buildings and hundreds of employees. And who the fuck are you that you would just knock on the door? We don't even know you. Do you even own a company? Can you even invoice us? Like what the fuck, you know? And I was good enough with sales just because of my background back when I used to sell websites, and just because of like my verbal skills,
Yeah.
whatever I was very blessed with that. So I just basically I entered like a meeting, and I communicated like in a really straight manner, and they, I think, gave me, some big companies gave me like a $500 like initial testing budget just to test stuff. And I was like really killing it, like really killing it. So I was basically squeezing myself through the cracks that the advertising companies left, and I managed to reach a point where they would leave the big companies and just like allocate their budget in my hands. And those companies actually stayed with me for so much time, dude. Some companies
Wow.
just left me like a few months ago, and even when they leave me, it's only when someone else buys the company and they fire, the CEO. You know how it is when
Yes, yes,
someone,
yes, yes. Someone
you
new
know how
new
it
blood comes in, and then yes.
and they want to bring their own guys and stuff like that, or they think that they know better and stuff. Um, and that's it. It was crazy. So I used to manage the clients for where I worked and two
Yes.
other agencies while I was working there, which
Right.
was like exhausting. And also, that's when I started doing the online stuff and just like exploding with affiliate marketing and just like getting to
Yeah.
know like how the weight loss products actually work, how advertorials work actually and stuff, because I
Yeah.
used to sell like really direct linking stuff, e-com and landing pages to generate leads and stuff. So you don't really try and use advertorials and stuff. So using just like tracking platforms like has offers and stuff like that was completely new to me. I had to understand how server to server pixels work and stuff. So that's it.
That brings up a really good point. So to I am 19 years old. I'm seeing you talk on this interview right now. I want to figure out how to be like you and have your skills. So back when you were working at Purple and you were obsessed and you were, really digging into those different subjects, what subjects or what areas do you think need to be there as the foundation that have brought you to where you are today? Like, understanding the technical side, pixel server to server type pixels, copywriting, advertorials, because there's a lot, right? How do you tie that together, or what were they during that journey? Because I'm sure you found the more you know, the more you find out what you don't know, and then you find the next thing and the next thing.
Yeah,
What are
definitely.
these?
Yeah.
What are these few
So
things?
I don't really have an answer for that. I have a couple of points that I could probably talk about. So the first one would be just considering that if you are looking for something right now that you saw maybe on a Facebook group or something like that, that's something that people are already doing. Okay, that might be something that already died, an opportunity that is
Aha.
no longer there, and you just see that remains. Okay, so first of all, in a creative manner, in a business manner, you have to be totally creative. Okay, you have to think about the next opportunity yourself. You have to basically reverse engineer the market. Okay, you see Shopify right now, the stock is booming. You see people that are on the Forbes list, and all of them are e-com entrepreneurs, like one way or another. So being in the e-com space right now would be a really smart move. Okay, but a couple of years ago, I went to Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within. It's like the initial thing that you do. And he's talking about the fact that everyone has something in their lives that they didn't really think that they would have. And the way that everyone got to that point where they have that thing, whatever that may be, it could be in business, it could be in a relationship, maybe a romantic relationship, doesn't matter, is by getting totally obsessed. Getting totally obsessed, totally obsessed. I remember myself, it was a joke, okay, but I remember myself, like the guys back at work didn't really understand, but I used to tell them, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. I would say that sentence for like days and hours in, and dude, it was like crazy. Day in, day out. It was like, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. I
Whether
would
they
be,
wanted to hear it or not doesn't matter.
it was, yeah. So they saw me as like a jokester and stuff, and they
Yes, yes,
said,
yes.
okay, that's his weird like nonsense joke, and he thinks that if he's going to tell it for like 500 times or something like that, it's going to be funny. But it got to a point where I didn't really had to say the exact words. I would just say, "Ah, so
Right,
people
right,
would
right.
just like, yeah. So that's a part of like my my thing about like getting super obsessed with anything. Okay, so that would be the second thing. And also, I think that one big thing that could make life really like make the journey a lot faster or shorter would be just okay, I'm gonna say something, and I'm gonna say something about it that's going to take a bit from it. So people talk about, and I'm getting like one message a week about someone who says, okay, Tony Robbins says that I need to find a mentor, I want you to be my mentor, blah 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 blah.
Right. Yes.
Okay, so I think finding someone who actually did what you want to do is a big thing, definitely. But you need to really think logically about it. Okay, you're not gonna get Jeff Bezos or someone who's extremely successful in his field to just leave his kids, leave his work, and just like make sure that you succeed. Okay, so you need to have real expectations. And I think that people are taking that sentence and just like trying to implement it in their lives in a really direct way, where you really have to think of how you want to take it into that. So, for example, just like I'm going to give a really funny example, but it's true. A lot of times when I'm near a girl, like I'm on a date, I'm thinking of one of the coolest guys that we know from the industry, Lorenzo. And I'm like, would Lorenzo do or think or say what I'm about to say? And if the answer is no, then I'm not doing it, because he's like a super cool, chill guy, and obviously he knows stuff about relationships because he manages to keep one better than I do. And that's almost like a mentorship, okay, because he's doing something that I'm like not doing as well as I am, I guess, but you know what I mean. So I think taking up a mentor in terms of like how you want to handle, how you want to think, what's the mindset that you want to be in, would be extremely important. But also I think that so many people are lacking creativity. Um, and it's funny when I say it, because I'm the king of Me Too companies. Okay, I always take up, like, my mother always told me when I was like a kid, I would tell her, and I'm gonna mess that sentence up, but I always told her that smart people invent, but brilliant people copy, or something
Steel.
like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, steal or copy or whatever. But I think it's where the real brilliance comes to play is how you understand the negative or cons or whatever you want to call it inside that specific business or product, and you actually are able to fix it or improve it or take it to the next level. Okay, so if you see a company that's just like marketing a product that's amazing, and you invent or basically duplicate the same product, it doesn't mean that your marketing approach needs to be the same. Maybe you have some crazy knowledge on how to improve the conversion rate inside the checkout page, maybe how to increase lifetime value or just like increase average order value and stuff. Um, so yeah, so that would be the stuff that. But to be honest, so like I have this talk I wouldn't say every other day, but at least twice or three times a week, when someone tells me, okay, I want to do it, just tell me where to start. And I have two things to say if I have to summarize that point in our talk. First point would be um, that I forgot what I wanted to say. No, but the first point would be that so many times. Okay, the first thing I tell people is that I don't even know how to start today. Like if someone would just erase my memory and I would have to basically learn everything from scratch, like I don't know how to even start. There is so much bullshit out there, so much.
That
Like
is
I
true.
saw the Joe's video. You probably saw it, and like the testimonial, and I don't even want to say
No,
the
I
guy's
haven't. I
name.
haven't. I haven't seen it yet. I gotta watch
Dude,
that. But yes, but you're
it's
right.
exploding on YouTube. So many
Yeah.
scammers, so many guys who are selling videos. They look amazing. They bought the suits. They rented the Lambo for one day. so many bullshit, and that's why my motto, and dude, even if I would be as poor as fuck, I wouldn't charge people for knowledge. Like, that's my thing. That's the only way to keep it authentic. I truly believe that more work, more income, and more money would come from my personal brand and from the opportunities of people who would just enjoy my content and would come to me. So I'm not going to create a course or anything like that, even though I have a lot of people that are pinging me about it. And the second thing, let's see if I can remember what I wanted. Oh, the second thing would be so related to personal development. And our industry is probably the biggest industry in terms of the number of people that I saw that are taking personal development courses or seminars and stuff like that. And to be honest, I think that 80% of the reason of why people aren't making money doesn't have to do with the poor choice or partnerships, the poor partnerships that they are choosing, the poor products that they are choosing, the time that they are spending on it. I think that 80% of why people fail in business has to do with something that's deep inside of them, like something from their past, their mindset, something that, and it changes between one person and another. But what I found is that 95% of cases, and I'm just saying 95 to be on the safe side, but it's actually 100% of the cases, something from the past, something from your childhood, something from home, where you heard your dad talk about how partnerships are bad, how people with a lot of money are bad. Maybe you saw cartoons where the bad guy has like the villain supercar and he's like super rich, and your brain actually associates having money with being evil, or having money with, I remember one story. I was at a friend's house and his small brother came out and he was like, I don't know, like 15, something like that. He wasn't that small. And he saw my car and he was like going through the cars in the parking lot and he said, that's a smart person's car, that's a nice person's car. And he said about my car, that's a really rich and evil person's car. So
no way.
Like, yeah, and that's like so
that says so much.
That says a lot because people really associate it. There's a saying in Hebrew and maybe in English too, but if I have to translate it, it says that if you have a lot of assets, you have a lot of worries. Okay?
Right.
And that's a really known saying, but who said it? I know so many people that have tons of assets, cars, apartments, and they live an amazing life. They don't have a lot of worries and stuff like that. So I
that's
think
super
that,
powerful.
yeah, because a lot of guys are talking to me about, dude, I called you about, I wanted to set up a business. Why are you even talking to me about, my personal stuff? Like and I'm telling him, those guys, I know you want like really practical advice on what you should do tomorrow, who or where you should go, where do you sign, what do you open, you do that and that and
where
that,
do you click, how do you optimize,
no, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. People are so fucked up by this like Instagram algo, and they see stories of people in different parts of the world with like crazy cars and stuff, and it's fucked up how it is. I'm super jealous of you in that sense, so that you got married and everything, and you don't have to actually go through the stuff, because girls right now are like,
listen, if I was 18, 17, 22 right now in 2020, I would be such a fucked up, like,
yeah,
I would have such a fucked up view of the world. I wouldn't even know what's real, what's not, and what's genuine, who's genuine, what should I talk about. I wouldn't even know how to place myself in this world. Like it's I'm so glad that I'm in my 30s right now because of everything that's happening in culture, on social media, and in popular culture as well. And you know what? Like, your past rant, this is exactly why I love this show, man. Like, what you said right there makes so much sense. It's not about if you don't start at the end of the day, you are the business owner. You are the driver of the car. Of course, you, Maor, have to ask them and correct the driver before you correct the car. It's not turn left here, turn right there. It's like, wait, as a driver, you need to be able to see straight first instead of see double. Because if you see double, you're gonna crash the car eventually. Anyway, this is cool. This is such a man.
Yeah, and
so
so
awesome.
many people actually, if you gave that analogy, I don't even know how to
Yep.
say it. Analogy. Okay, so if you gave that car example, so many people are stuck in their past, and actually, I don't want to overquote Tony Robbins here, but he's like talking about like the fact that your past doesn't equal your future unless you live in it. And that's like a lot of people are driving the car and they actually don't even look where they're driving. They just look in the mirror and they end up hitting a wall. So I think if I had to choose one thing that summarizes all of like I actually call it like the Instagram stories algo thing, would be how much people tend to it's so important to so many people how they look on the outside, that it really drives so many bad decisions. I would say 95% of the decisions, the bad decisions that people are making, has to do with like how they want to be looked at on the outside. And we even, you and me, we know people from the industry, from conferences, that are bringing girls that are not really their girlfriends, or getting cars or spending money that they don't really have, just to seem in a certain way. And the thing is that people forget this industry has so many super smart people. Even probably the dumbest person is 10 times as smart as the average person that you know. People see through it, you know, and they see through it really fast. And even if someone buys into that, it would only hold up for a really short period. So why do it? The only way is being genuine. Stop selling crap. Stop selling stories that are untrue, that are not true, you know? Because just like in life, you're gonna end up with the more, like the dumb people near you, and the smarter people are going to just like get away from you, and just like,
you attract the wrong people anyway.
I don't really understand like why people are so trying to hyper turbo, like the you know, you need to understand that the journey is where the game is, you know. It's not about getting there. There's nowhere to get to. And those people are sometimes they are 22, 23, 24, and they are standing on stages, and I'm like, you know, they're talking about crap that they're selling to people who is so not genuine and true. So I'm like, really,
totally.
Totally.
And that's why, and that's, I mean, I can put my hand on my heart and say that's why you and Eden as well are like a very few select people that are very close to my heart because of that exact reason. That you guys are.
If I had to think of one thing that I've been blessed with, and totally blessed, would be the partnerships that I'm in. I mean, I had some bad partnerships, but even with them, I made some money. So money wasn't ever a problem with me. I always made money. That was like something that was really, really simple for me. It wasn't easy, but it was simple. Like the opportunities always came. But I think, you know, the feedback that me and Eden are getting, it's just that guy that's like a once in a lifetime person that you meet, who becomes basically you. You know, you become him and he becomes you, basically. I know it might sound weird.
No, trust me. For anyone that's watching or listening, I've met Eden and I've met Maor together. It literally is like watching Tweedledee and Tweedledum Maor will start saying something, and then Eden will finish it, and then the other way around.
Yeah.
I know
So
exactly what you mean.
Heath Wilcock, who is working with us on several projects, and he's amazing. Like this guy is, you need to find another word. Genius doesn't even cut it. He calls us the Israeli brothers, and yeah, I think that we're what I would aspire to, like in terms of like partnerships, if I would look for a partner. So that's also something that you build, but it's something that the base is so strong, it's like,
Forget about it. Yeah,
and
exactly.
I've managed to test that relationship in so many difficult situations, from personal stuff to actually losing money in or investing money in different businesses. And that's when you see, because when a partnership, it's like when your best like favorite soccer or baseball or basketball team wins, everyone loves everyone, everyone's like drunk and super happy. But when you're losing money, when you're getting sued for like tons of money, that's where you test the true personality of someone, and that's where this relationship basically
Yes.
managed to more than survive. Survive isn't like, I think our relationship even thrives in those situations.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Absolutely. Speaking about money, so when did you hit the million shekels?
So it took me 10 months after I moved to Tel Aviv
No
to
shit.
basically, yeah, it was like crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. I managed tons of budgets, like really a lot of budgets. And back then, the commission for stuff was much higher. So you could actually generate and make some money. So yeah, so it took me 10 months to pay after taxes and stuff to do that. I actually ended up paying a lot of my parents' bills at the time. I bought
Wow.
both cars. I did a lot of stuff. And a couple of years ago, I also made one of my last dreams in terms of like what I dreamed of when I was back home, which was like taking them, all of them, like my sister, my dad, my mother, on a cruise to the Caribbean and like Vegas and stuff like that. So I managed to do that. That was something I was like happy to check off my bucket
Wow.
list, definitely. Um, yeah,
Super awesome.
yeah,
And
that was like a big thing.
so we're getting to the end. I want to stay respectful of your time. One of the final questions before I move on to the next section: how the fuck do you get any sleep running 13 companies?
First of all, I don't sleep a lot, as you can see. Actually, I should have maybe got
Put
some
some
medication on
cucumbers or
that.
some shit.
Yeah, dude, and this camera is actually amazing, and I think I have like Snapchat filters and stuff, so my eyes always look like I'm super tired because I'm such a sensitive kind of guy. Like I have so many stuff. I'm gonna tell something really funny. I had the girls sleep over at my place and stuff, and I had so many funny moments, dude. Some girls told me like when I wake up that, dude, you scream at night and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, that might be like why I'm not sleeping good. I was like mumbling and saying stuff, and so I think that I'm getting really poor sleep. First of all, I don't sleep a lot. I go to sleep somewhere around 12, maybe 2 o'clock every day, and I wake up at 7:30, sometimes 8. So that's the sleep I'm getting. Um, and some days and some nights I would just like get an idea, and I would just wake up in 3, 4 o'clock and start like restructuring the account or something weird. So I
Yes.
sleep with like a notebook next to my bed, and always like when I'm in bed I have like the best ideas, so I keep writing it down. But in terms of like why so many companies and stuff, like I just get a lot of offers all the time, and I give up on most of them, but some of them are too hard to give up on. And also, I don't really build a new thing until that thing I decided to build has like a really solid structure where it could
Yes.
manage to hold up itself. So I don't really move towards another thing. But I think that what drives me in terms of like companies and stuff would be the fact that I'm a Capricorn and I'm just looking for stability all the time. So I think that the methodology would be that it's easier to get a company to where it's making 80% of the revenue that it could make than like a lot of times you would spend a year getting it to 80% of what it could make, and then you would spend 5 more years just like perfecting that extra 10, 20, 15%. And I would just rather just build an 80%, companies. Just do
Aha.
that. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's a
yeah.
different focus.
Yeah, different way of, yeah. That's super
So
cool.
that would be the first thing that drives me. And the second thing is that I enjoy learning so much. Like, dude, I'm like this. I think like I'm an ultra geek kind of like guy. I don't know. I'm like I enjoy learning. Like right now, I'm taking French classes, and dude, I always like learn stuff. Like I'm looking for what I'm going to learn. So I don't think there is a better way than just losing a lot of money or investing a lot of money in a product that you wanna do. That makes you it forces you to learn so much about that specific product, industry, niche, whatever. So
Yes.
yeah, and I also don't really manage hands-on a lot of my stuff. Like there is a CEO managing each and every one of the companies, and yeah, that's it. So
Wow. Yeah,
um,
that's super powerful, and that's something I learned from a lot of the other people that have come onto the show as well. Like always lifelong learners, like
yeah,
never. It's almost like that is what turns them on more than the money part. They just want to. They
yeah,
just can't sit still, and they just want to keep soaking in more information, getting good at something else, or getting really, 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 really good at what they're doing currently. It's
yeah.
it's
And I
super
think I
wild.
think that the thing is that when you're getting a lot of opportunities and offers and stuff, then you always have to have such a strong type of personality in terms of like you always get like these really fast money, like for example
Yes.
black hat sort of like campaigns and opportunities, and you're trying to really that's where the focus like challenge for me is, because I have like a really fast money thing going on, or I have like build your own brand company which you can after like do stuff and sell and blah blah blah. And you're basically seeing negative ROI on the front end here because you have to wait for the lifetime value to like the recurring bills and stuff
Yes.
like that. So it's a hard thing to do, but that would be the challenge in terms of like focus. The focus isn't really between companies; it's about how you choose and what you choose in terms of like opportunities. Yeah.
Super awesome. All right, we're getting to my favorite part of the show. So no one's usually prepared for this by the time I get to this point. So that's why it's my favorite part. So for those of you guys watching and those of you that are newly joining us, the Growth and Greatness Show was inspired by this one longtime TV show, long running TV show called Inside the Actors Studio, which was on Bravo TV in the U.S. Hosted by the late James Lipton, and he was inspired by this French host called Bernard Pivot, and they ended their shows exactly the same way. So I'm trying to continue that tradition in my own little way. So I'm about to ask you a series of questions, around 12 questions. You can answer for as long or as short as you like, and it's all just rapid fire.
Okay.
You ready?
I have to say that I'm totally not prepared,
Beautiful.
but
I
let's
love
see.
it. This is
Yeah.
like a magic trick. Maor, what's
Okay.
your favorite book?
Oh, how to win friends and influence people.
What's your favorite word? It doesn't have to be in English.
um, my favorite word. Um, fuck.
What's your least favorite word?
Fuck. No, I'm joking. What's my least favorite word? Problem.
Problem. What turns you on? What switches you on?
Um, I think I have crazy ability to artificially generate motivation in terms of like what I want. It doesn't matter. Like right now, I'm trying to lose tons of weight, and I'm doing it, and I know how to generate motivation out of even thin air,
That is super cool.
long-lasting motivation. Yeah.
What turns you off?
Negative people, people who I don't even see as genuine, unauthentic or inauthentic people, turns me off immediately, makes me a different person, just makes me want to run away. If someone is in just like an act, and I see it right away, I either feel sorry for him or just like I become a different person.
What sound or noise do you love?
My dog's sound, or I think the Shopify kaching sound.
I was waiting for that one. What sound or noise do you hate?
Um, I think the Skype calls. I hate Skype calls. I hate the sound where Skype calls are making, just because.
I can hear the sound right now.
Yeah, I think they need to change the audio.
Skype, if you're listening, make sure you take the customer feedback.
I'm sure they are.
They have their social media monitoring sentiment score. What is your, and you probably answered this already, what is your favorite curse word? Again, it doesn't have to be English.
I don't know. Good question. I don't know. I don't know. I think that I'm not cursing as much as I would just invent something on the spot, really custom made for that specific person. That's
Nice.
funnier. Yeah.
What other profession, other than your own, would you like to try or attempt?
Oh, other profession. It would have to be something that pushes me outside my comfort zone. That would be definitely live in Israel, living Israel, not live in Israel. Yeah, that would be maybe becoming an undercover agent or something that's like super secretive, where I have to travel through countries and just like manipulate people into doing stuff or something like that.
Nice. Some spy agency shit.
Yeah.
That's cool. What's the greatest piece of advice you've received that helped you grow the most?
That's a really good question. I think I'm gonna answer it really creatively. I think the best advice I got was from looking at someone who's super close to me, who made tons of mistakes. And the best advice that he never gave that to me, that's just an advice that basically a rule that I made, is that when I don't know what to do, and I still have to make a decision in terms of what I'm going to do, then I look at the dumbest person in the room, or the person that's making so many mistakes in my life that I know, and I would just ask him what he would do, and I would do the opposite without even asking questions. By the way, that person is my dad.
Wow.
Yeah. To be honest,
Wow.
I've taken so many decisions just based on what would be the opposite thing of what he would do.
Wow. That's crazy. Man, I'm so this moments like these is exactly why I'm so happy I started the show. Next question. What does greatness mean to you?
Oh, that's a good question, because it throws you into like really great depths. Greatness, what does it mean? Um, Greatness would be, first of all, for me, leaving a legacy, I think, behind. Um, I think greatness would be not acting as people think that you should act, maybe even acting as a renegade, even just like that, not really do what's like acceptable in society and just like create your own way. And greatness would be looking back when I would be 80 years old and just like having as least regrets as possible.
Beautifully answered. Final question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You're going back in, this time as a dog.
That's awesome. I did not expect that at all. Man, that was so awesome. Do me a favor for the people that have watched this and enjoyed this, and I don't know who wouldn't enjoy this. This past hour has been so amazing, even personally for myself. And I think we know each other really pretty well, and I feel like I got to know you so much more. Where can people go find your content, your advice, the type of stuff that you put out, etc.?
So my advice would be my stuff, my content would be mainly on my YouTube page. That's where I would go. I'm trying to post as much as possible and come up with stuff when I have time, because I really want to arrange it in a certain way. And it took time for me to really understand how to record and edit it like I'm doing right now. So yeah, the go-to place would be my YouTube page, and also posting it on my Facebook page, of course. Yeah.
Beautiful. What do people search on YouTube?
Maor BN, MAORBN, just like Maor Benaim, Maor the Wolf, and stuff like that. That would be, yeah.
And Facebook's the same, yeah? Maor Benaim?
Yeah, MAORBN.
Amazing. Dude, this has been so fun, man. I hope you had just as much fun as I had. Just so fun.
Actually, but actually surprising.
Nice. I'm super glad about that. Stay on the line. I'm going to just make sure I do the outro and say bye to everyone and make sure that they listen to me and subscribe and do all that stuff. And then I want to just stay on the line so I can say thanks properly and bye properly and all that other stuff.
Sure.
Everyone watching, please join me and say thanks to Maor, because he has been a total legend. Thanks, bro. There you have it. That was Maor. Crazy, right? I got so much out of that. I'm going to make sure that we go away and put in the show notes and link to all of Maor's assets and his content and stuff like that. We're also going to make sure that we timestamp, because there was a lot of good stuff in there, and I don't want you to miss out on that. If you have not already, please, if you like what you see, go subscribe to the YouTube channel, and if you're on Facebook, go like the Facebook page, and definitely like this post as well. Most importantly, if you think that someone needs to see this, Maor dropped some really good stuff. Tag a friend that needs to watch this video. This goes immediately up onto the Facebook page, immediately up onto the YouTube channel as well. So you just tag a friend, they'll get to watch it when they're having their lunch or dinner or just sitting on the couch, because they are locked in as hell right now. So there we have it. See you next time on the Growth and Greatness Show.